The girls' high school basketball season is getting underway this week across the state of Illinois, and the Mt Vernon Lady Rams are coming off a magical season last year where they were 29-5, made it all the way to the Super Sectional, where they lost to Quincy Notre Dame, set a school record for wins. Coach Jeff Lonnon's with us. That was last year, Coach. That was a magical year, special year, but that is last year. You got to turn the page and look at this year. And you know, you lost two outstanding players to graduation that each scored over 1,000 points. That's tough to replace, isn't it?
Well, it's not only tough to replace, but the other ones were so valuable too. I mean, you know, we're 6 seniors in that class,
yeah,
and they all, you know, unfortunately, one of them got hurt early, but she would have also been a big help for us. So just losing those 6 as a whole, obviously, you know, Kamari and Milena were, you know, generational players that, you know, you don't see often in your program. But at the same time, you know, we know we lost them. I get that, but we got to replace those other ones too. And I think that you know, I wouldn't want to call this a rebuilding year. I hate using that word because I think it just maybe there's a tint of, you know,
negativity
or we're going to make excuses for in case our season doesn't work out for it. We're not doing that. I mean, we're full bore. You know, we realize that, you know, we've started somewhat of a little bit of a tradition here in the last, you know, 6 or 7 years, modern tradition, obviously not taking anything away from the great years that Coach Rennie had back, you know, in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s.
For sure.
But I tell people all the time, you know, we've only lost one conference game in the last, 5-6 years here. So
yeah, 5 or 6 straight South 7 Conference championships.
Exactly 5. So, but that's, again, our goal, and the kids know that. All of these kids are young, but they also were in the same practices with those seniors last year and saw how we practiced and you know, the things they did. So they really got a lot of good leadership and a feel for the expectations last year, even though many of them didn't play varsity basketball. So, you know, I'm hoping some of that kind of, you know, so to speak, kind of bleeds over and we can be very competitive again this year. You know, it's no secret we're going to be pretty green, though. I mean, we don't have a lot of experience, and I would anticipate that this group will have some growing pains early in the season, but I also see it as a team that can grow and get better as they play more competition throughout the year. So we're certainly think we can accomplish some good things, but we have to be patient.
Well, I look at you practice today, and while you are true, you are a young team coming in. I see you got some pretty good size out there. You really do, and you got some quickness too. And those are 2 things that you know, help to contribute to success for sure.
We have some tools. That's for sure. I think the biggest thing is just the experience, just being out there and playing varsity basketball, and then being able to take those tools that we have and realize what we can do with them. Right now, I'm not sure. Our kids are so young and inexperienced that they're not quite sure what they can do on a varsity basketball floor because they've never really been given an opportunity to do that. So I love the fact that we start out, you know, early in the year, like at a Nashville Tournament, where we're going to see some really good, stiff competition.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Collinsville, Oakville, and Freeburg, all, you know, Collinsville obviously has a bigger school than us. They're a big 4A, and then Oakville returns almost everybody from a 20-win season, and then Freeburg does return everybody from a 17 or 18-win season. So we have a really tough go of the first 3 games, but I'm not so much necessarily concerned about the scoreboard, to be quite. I mean, obviously I want to win, but what I want is to see is taking those tools that we do have and learning how to use them, and then, you know, feeling like we can be competitive with that and then grow with it. So, you know, it's an exciting group for me. I mean, obviously, sometimes when you have a really good group like we've had the last couple of years, a coach can kind of screw them up by, you know, getting in the way too much. And there are a lot of times I would just step back and not try to overcoach, you know, groups like that. But this group is a little different deal. I think we feel like we're probably a little more engaged with them on what we want and what we expect, and that's been kind of fun to be honest with you.
Well, I think you mentioned a key word there, growth, and the goal is to see how you're playing in late February. I mean, yeah, you might take some losses here early in the season as you go through that growth pattern, and you learn the game of basketball and how to play together at the varsity level. But the end goal is to see what you do at the end of the season when it comes postseason time, vying for another conference championship, and again trying to win another regional and perhaps another sectional.
Well, I think the word is chemistry. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's the word that I'm trying to find and build on right now, and it's hard to teach that. It's kind of an unforeseen thing. You don't really see it, but you know it when you got it. Mm-hmm. And I think the chemistry thing is probably what we're working on the most right now. And the only way you develop that chemistry is by just playing games and experiencing the highs and the lows. And, occasionally you get your butt beat, and occasionally you overcome and have some nice wins. And it all just builds on that team chemistry, that togetherness, and those experiences. And like I said, chemistry is a weird thing. It's not something as a coach can really teach. It's just something they got to live through and develop. Mm-hmm. And then good things can happen. So I think that's kind of where we're at right now, is trying to develop that team chemistry so we can be better in February and have another shot at a regional.
Yeah. Well, even though you are young, it appears to me that there's some basketball IQ out there.
Well, there is. And again, individually, we do have some basketball IQ, but they have to learn how to play together and make that all mesh to where it's a fine, beautiful product on the floor.
Right. Well-oiled machine, yeah.
Yeah, yes, and that's hard to get from point A to point B when you're new. You have a new group. They've never really played together any meaningful minutes at the varsity level. They did have a pretty good JV season together last year, I will say that. But the jump from JV to varsity is significant. And, like I said, we've got to just, coach them as hard as we can, be patient with them, not be at a point where as coaches we're making them feel down or we're angry with them or anything like that. We have to be infinitely positive. I just think that's important when you get a group like this, and just keep encouraging them, because as you said, the tools are there. We got 2 6-footers. They're both freshmen. But they both can play. I'm confident at the varsity level they can really help us. We've got Arwen Wilkie coming back, who was our on our starting squad last year, who's been through this whole war and knows what it's like. And then we've got Hampton and Jarek Newell and then Shelby. They're all 3 very capable guards who can shoot the 3. Kendall Mast is back this year, and she's a really good 3-point shooter as a sophomore. And then we got Ariana Benson anchoring the inside, along with those 2 freshmen. So those 7 or 8 names I just gave you right there are, if they put it together from a chemistry standpoint, back to that word, we can be absolutely we can be very competitive and have a chance. So. The cupboard is not bare with us. It just needs to be. It just needs to have a little experience and a little nurturing and a little coaching, and hopefully, in the end, I think if we can all stay healthy, which is the other thing, that we can maybe do something.
You have a new assistant coach this year, and he's obviously jumped right in there with both feet.
Travis Pinkston is in there, and he coached with the boys last year. He's coached all sports of all kinds, of all ages,
all levels
in the town of Mount Vernon. So he's very familiar with all these new kids that come in. That's been a big bonus. He knew them better than I did, actually. When they first came here, or first came out for basketball. And then Kristen Mack, formerly Kristen Weigel, played here for Coach Rennie.
Right.
And she took the 3rd spot. And she's been getting better and better and better every day, and more engaging with the girls now that she's learned their names and their positions and what they can and can't do. So she's really taken the bull by the horns and done well. I'm very, very pleased with her. And by the same token, we're really going to miss Matt Poole, and we're going to miss Jamie Williams.
Absolutely.
We coached together for a long, long time and had some great successes together.
Sure did.
I'm I'm sad they're not back, but I'm also really happy with the new coaches in place.
One more thing real quick on a personal note. You've been recognized by the Illinois Basketball Coaches Association, the IBCA. You're going to be enshrined into their Hall of Fame, and I want to congratulate you for that. And that's just an outstanding honor and well-deserved.
Well, thank you. That's an award that it's very humbling, and it's not something that, I ever, I'm not much of a self-promoter, never been much about, what can I do and look at me and all that. I'm pretty laid-back guy who kind of just tries to do things under the radar and do my job and go home.
You've had a lot of great girls around you.
Sure.
And the assistant coaches.
And that helps. And,
right.
the first thing I will always say is, great players make great coaches. Like, your kids got to be able to play. And we've had, more often than not, we've had that here. And I had that at the other schools I coached at. So I just say, that it's a player's award to me. Even though I get the recognition for it, it's just it's a fact that I had a lot of great kids along the way to work and work hard for me, and that's important. They didn't have to do that, but they did along the way, and so it's just much of an award for them as it would be for me.
Coach, we appreciate your time. Best of luck to the Lady Rams this season. All right, go get them.
Appreciate you, Randy.
You bet.